Hello and welcome back to the Coder's Legacy channel. In this video, we're going to explore how to use the C++ deprecated attribute to mark classes, functions, or class methods as deprecated. Often when using libraries, you may have seen this warning message in the console saying that this function or method is deprecated and is no longer in use. And they may also say something like, use this function instead. So what this basically means is that that function that you're trying to use, it's not recommended anymore. Maybe it's not safe, maybe it's unreliable, or maybe there's a better alternative that's there. So that's what deprecation means. You can't just outright remove something. If you're someone who's made a library that's being used by thousands or millions of people across the globe, then you can't just remove a function or a class just because there's a better alternative out there. You have no idea how much software, how many programmers are using those functions. And if you suddenly just remove that, and then when everyone updates to the new version of your library, then their code is suddenly going to break. You can't just do that without warning. First, you always deprecate that function or class so that they get some warning, and you basically show them in the deprecation message that you're going to remove this function eventually, and you're going to tell them to migrate away from it to some other alternative. So this gives them that time to slowly make that transition. Now that we understand what deprecation is and why it's used, let's begin learning how to mark our own functions and classes as deprecated. Let's begin. I'll first create some functions over here. Okay, we'll call this one old func, and then we'll define a new one called new func. All right, and then just put a simple print statement in here. This is the old function, and this one is the new one. This is the new function. Now, our goal is to mark this one as deprecated and instead tell the user to use this one, the new one. So look over here. If I use old func, right now it's going to run, obviously, and yeah, prints out the statement. So now what we're going to do is mark this as deprecated. And I should warn you beforehand that the deprecated feature was added in C++ 14, the 2014 version. So you should make sure you have that version for this code to work. If you don't know how to check your C++ version, I'll leave a link down in the description below. It's a very short video that'll teach you how to, check your C++ version. Okay, so just write deprecated over here, and now if I try running this code, it says this function is deprecated. It's interesting to note that this is just a warning. It's not going to prevent your code from running, because we can see right here that the print statement is still there, so it executed. That's what deprecation is. It allows your code to run. It just throws a warning, okay, to warn the user not to use it anymore. So here is something that we can do. We can add in our own custom warning. This is just the default stuff. Let's add in our own warning. Let's say this function is deprecated. Use the new func instead. All right. And let's add in one more piece of information. This will be removed in version 1.6.7. All right, something very random. Now let's run this code again. And look, see, this warning message got printed out. So now we just marked our function as deprecated and also entered some valuable information which tells the person using it what to use instead and when to expect this function to get removed. All right, if you aren't sure when it's going to be removed, just say that this will be removed in a future release. All right, that's all. So yeah, that's how you mark functions as deprecated. Let's talk about classes now, and then we'll talk about class methods. Let's define a new class called old class, and then to mark it as deprecated, just put the deprecated, this double square brackets, and then the deprecated attribute in here. That's it. Now if we try to create an object of this class, old is equal to old class. Now, what's wrong over here? Attribute does not apply to any entity. Weird. Oh wait, I think this goes over here in the middle, like this. And is this okay? Yeah. All right. Oh, and by the way, this also works for structs. It works for classes and structs. So now just run this code, and as you can see here, it says this old class is deprecated. Okay, so yeah, pretty cool. This is how you can do that. And if you want to mark a class method as deprecated, then it's very similar to how you normally do functions. And void old func right here. So all you need to do is put deprecated over here, all right? And then just, we have the object created over here, then do old func, and then it says that the function is deprecated. And by the way, the same message system applies over here as well to both classes and objects, sorry, class methods. You can just, put this over here. This is deprecated, all right, question mark, there we go. Right, so as you can see here, our custom message is also printed out. So this is how you can mark functions and class methods and classes as deprecated in C++. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.